Welcome back to the All About Fungi podcast. Irene, we had our last talk about 2 years ago. Probably feels longer than that. I looked through it a couple of days ago and today again, just to really understand what we were talking about. And it was quite interesting to see, both of us. There was a lot that happened in those 2.5 years, and I'd like to go through some of them today, and also see what you've been up to, and what your future projects are. And before we dive in, last time I remember you told me that your current favorite mushroom was Amanita muscaria. Has that changed, or is Amanita still present and one of your favorite mushrooms?
I think it did. Um, but it's hard to say now if it's even harder to say which one is favorite. I think it's just turned into stable obsession with any mushroom I find because now that I know even more, it's like it's hard to just choose one. Although just yesterday I packed 2 jars of Amanita tincture, which we are excited for it to, like, it has to stay for 40 days and then
Yeah.
we gotta use it. So
Two
Amanita is still
jars?
there.
You
Yeah.
said 2 jars? Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. Most jars like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for two people, that's okay.
Not
It's,
bad.
yeah, it's not bad. At least this year, I can also confirm there was a lot of amanitas. I found also.
It's crazy how
Yeah,
many.
it's good. Okay, so I guess the amanita is still on the top, and you said you know way more about mushrooms. Like, what within those 2.5 years? What are like the main points you have been diving into when it comes to mushrooms? What are the big projects you did?
I think, like, if we talk knowledge, it's just that, you read more, you look at it more, and I have all these encyclopedias. So it all contributes into like a general knowledge. And now when I go to the forest, I already like know a bit more and more.
Hmm.
So in that sense, but mushroom wise, there has been tons of tons of projects. Um, for example, the one that we did with my friend artist for a festival. Um, in Hungary for the Ozora Festival. That project, for example, was heavily based on like research of different species of mushrooms and mixing them with plants. So they were like these metaphoric unions of plants and mushrooms, and like it was all about like connection of species and interaction between species, like successful um, symbiosis
Mm,
between species.
right.
So, so
And
that project was involving a lot of fungi, for example.
if you say festival, what can I think about? Is that you said scientific? Is it more? It sounds more artistic to me, but what was it exactly?
Yeah, Ozora Festival is psychedelic trance fest,
Mm.
psychedelic fest,
Hmm.
which is, if I'm not mistaken, one of the biggest in Europe. So it has thousands of people coming from all over the world, and it has music, it has art, it has like lectures, spirituality. So you can really find anything, drugs, if you want.
So
So
psychedelic.
anything. Yeah, like, so I guess everyone comes with certain purpose, and me and my friend artist Rebecca Chombordi, we it's been a long time that we've been like wanting to do something like that as an artist, to try and do some installation or something. And we came up with this idea. We applied, we got accepted, and then it was like several months of like actual doing, stitching the creatures, like, um, and then I would paint on each creature. They have many eyes, and yeah, and each creature
Holy moly.
has several several plants and mushrooms involved. So it's like each creature is a character in a
Nice.
way, has a
So you,
name. And
so you created stories around each creature?
yeah, I actually got my sketchbook because I thought we will be talking about it, and we
Wow.
made like for each creature there would be like a sketch. For example, this is a turkey tail mixed with iboga plant,
Wow, that's
uh,
amazing.
and then they have names based on the Latin name of the species, and some of them, some of them already found owners, some of them sold, some we gifted to the festival.
Wow.
So yeah, each
But
one
they're
is,
pretty unique, right? So there's like made one of each.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So we have,
amazing.
yeah, one is there's actually over there. You have
Yeah,
some of them there.
there's a couple. It seems like. Why is
It's
it?
like around 15 of them or something. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said some of them found new owners. So are you also selling them partially? What are your plans with them?
Yeah, initially it was for installation. So we did the installation at the festival. It stayed there for several weeks. And then uh, some of the creatures we gifted to the festival. Like there was a huge creature with like many, many legs. We left it there. And then we, after the festival, we could do whatever we want with them. So, yes, so now they are on our Etsy shops, and yeah, some of them went to US, one is in Mexico, and so on.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And are you planning to do more with it? Is that like a book coming out or something like that?
For now, no, although I had like this, yeah, I had a lot of comments on like our sketches, even that it could, you know, make a whole in a kind of illustration book. So maybe one day, but for now I have many other projects. So
Okay. Well, that sounds good. And also, I remember you told me about exhibitions you also did. You did a solo exhibition in Prague.
yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more
Um,
about that?
yeah, actually three solo exhibitions.
There you go.
So yeah, I think just after we chatted in a few months, I had a big solo show here in Recompose Studio, and it was called Involution. And it was inspired by the words that I found in the Merlin Sheldrake's book.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a part where he was talking about actually, instead of using evolution, which implies just evolvement of one species, just of one, then using instead the involution, which would mean uh, evolving together with other organisms. And like
Mm,
it's a different movement as well, because evolution is like progressive movement forward, let's say, but involution is much more complex. It's like pushing, pulling,
mm.
it's like this inward motion, and it's very different.
It makes way more sense. It's like
Yeah,
that's how nature is, right?
true, because
Yeah.
organisms did not evolve alone. They,
Yeah.
everything that we have, it involved together, and everything involves everything else, and we just cannot not take it into account when we
Yeah.
speak
Exactly.
about nature. So that was like my concept, and it had also like a philosophical sense in a way that, like involution, again, it's like coming back to you inward, so to yourself. So I was inviting people to come back to their roots in nature, so connect back to yourself and that means that implies that you are connecting back to where you came from.
Yeah,
So
that's the forest, as we
yeah,
discussed the last
it
time as
sounds
well.
obvious, but no, like yesterday I went to the forest and I am like, whew, I can breathe again.
Yeah,
It's very
definitely.
simple,
Yeah.
but somehow we made it very difficult for ourselves to even get to the forest.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I mean, I had a good friend of mine. He, yeah, I took him hiking a couple of weeks ago, and afterwards we were sitting in a cafe, and he's like, "Well, from bottom of my heart, thank you for doing this with me." And I was like, "What do you what do you mean?" He's like, "No, I usually don't do that." And he said it felt like being on vacation. I mean, pretty much we just went on a hike
Yeah,
through the wood, right? It was, I mean, it was long, it was 6 hours long, but still, I mean, it's close by. It's not like we really
yeah,
took out a lot, but yeah, like you said, it's interesting that we don't realize how much the scenery, the fresh air can give us, and I always tell people hiking is amazing because of that. You come back and you feel whole again. In a
yeah,
sense, it's amazing. Yeah.
yeah. It's like little vacation or travel somewhere. It's like little adventure of one day,
All
and
right.
I think we all need that.
And you
But
can go
yeah,
mushroom hunting, so that's nice.
yeah, it's like makes it triple
Yeah,
importance to go
yeah.
hiking.
And
Yeah. So that's was the name of the exhibition, and I had like several sections there, and some sections were about like mycelium, some were like a micro universes of plants and fungi, and some were devoted to entheogens. So I combined like I made a series of work on ayahuasca, iboga, bufo alvarius, and so on. And then I also had like interactive section where people would like write mushroom stories.
nice.
So animations. So it was quite big for
So are
me.
you continuing your project where you take in mushroom stories? Is that
It's been, yeah, for maybe 3-4 years I've been doing that.
yeah,
I don't know yet what I'm going to do with that, but it definitely gave me a lot of inspiration, and like it's just precious when people share some different perspectives and how everyone has mushrooms in their life in one way or another.
right.
Um,
Amazing. I mean,
yeah.
hopefully you can share them somehow. That would be nice.
Somehow, maybe a book, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you also experienced on my website with audio, which I really liked.
Yay.
That was pretty cool for everyone who is interested in it. You are explaining one of your pieces of art you did in collaboration with All About Fungi, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's like one of these things where it's always art does something to you, right? At the best, then
Hmm.
it triggers some emotions or something, and also to understand what the artist wanted to express with it. I think it's always like a good addition to it. And if you want to listen to it, it's on my website, and I'm going to link it here as well, so it's quicker. But yeah, maybe you can do an audio version as well. That would be quite interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Just to read some of them or like parts of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be amazing. Good idea. So yeah, that was one exhibition, and then I had a few more. They were called Nature Spirited Volume 1 and Nature Spirited Volume 2. And you can maybe guess by the name a little bit, it was like all about like aliveness in nature and how everything has some kind of intelligence or a spirit, or um, yeah, just seeing other species as not uh, s- not something without soul, and
hmm
but actually treating them as at least
oh yeah,
equals, like and part of this is behind me. It's like this, they are combined of different plants and mushrooms and different microorganisms and weird plants that I became interested in. So these were for these two and more exhibitions.
And when you talk about these exhibitions, you're talking about mainly pictures, so
Yeah,
painting.
these were paintings. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
and sometimes I also add some animations where these
Hmm.
paintings kind of move. Um, and I had like little. Well, I wouldn't say they were just like these are also like part of it's kind of installation.
Yeah,
So
sounds like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, last time you also talked about the microscopic part of it, that you
yeah.
wanted to do classes where you take people and also use the microscopes. Um,
Hmm.
I've in that time frame, I also experienced one of these. So I've been to um, yeah, uh, it was an event. I actually sold them through my company now, and it's we do the same. So we go into the woods and then we have microscopes and look at it. It was I think 40 times the zoom, and it is crazy. But tell me about yours. Like how was it, and what did you do?
Yeah, I started teaching like once in a while a few years ago, and then I've always wanted to continue to do more of this because I felt like it's important to let people know about this. Because until you actually see it with your eyes and experience it, you cannot
Yeah,
fully appreciate it. And I think it changes a lot the perspective that you live with in the world, your attitude to other species, to smaller organisms. So I continued my microscopic experiments, and I felt like it's time to share. So I like amplified my goal of doing the classes, and I started like doing this more and more of small like groups classes, individual almost individual, because it's like small class, so maybe five
hmm.
people, six, four, seven, and
And,
we started to like doing these my science art workshops, and I would um, let them see this microscopic imagery, maybe experiment themselves. People also can bring their own stuff that they want to see under the microscope, or sometimes it's already something that I prepared. Yeah, you
okay.
were going to say something, or
No, I was just
uh-huh.
coughing and I muted the the microphone. I'm sorry.
Cool. So, as I was saying, it started as only microscopic workshops because I thought, this is what I do. But then the more I did it, the more I understood that I have so much more to share. Like, I know all this stuff about mushrooms, and I love weird plants, and I have this education in art. So I was like, I should just like experiment. And since like early spring of this year, I did like workshops on painting like exotic plants and mushrooms and slime molds and
Nice.
all these microscopic organisms. We did like a creatures, because we had this project about creatures. So I
Hmm.
already have like a lot of research and information about like how to create a creature out of plants and mushrooms. And I especially love teaching these art, science, nature inspired workshops, I think, because it helps to also um, develop more your imagination. Like we never like just
Mm,
copy stuff, we actually learn a lot. I always have a little lecture that I include in each workshop. So It's not like a classic wine and paint workshop where you just copy one picture all the class. Every person has individual approach. We discuss how we can create our own composition, how we can, play with the elements, and we look into also the history of this certain type of art, like how creatures were made in history, in
Wow.
sculpture, in art, or how mushroom painters from long time ago to the now. So things like that.
And how do you, I mean, if you say it's a workshop and you're teaching, is that at the university or is it outside on the free market? How can I, like, what, what,
hmm
what is it?
So most of the time I teach here in my home studio. So I have this
Hmm.
equipped studio where I work and where the classes are happening. But since I started, I also taught at festivals. I taught at hotels. For
Mm,
example, we had this art brunch event, for example. Um, so it was like microscopic universe. We painted microscopic universes and we had brunch.
amazing.
So that was a bigger group of like 30 people, 40 people, something like that. So yeah, different places, but I think for now I prefer these smaller groups because
Hmm.
people can learn more, and yeah, it's not like a mass-produced thing.
No, I
It's
understand. Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, the last time I also asked you about how you yourself perceive how mushrooms are being acknowledged in the society. Do you think anything has changed in those 2.5 years?
I think they became even more popular,
Yeah.
and I have mixed feelings about that because it's good and it's also a little bit sad because then a lot of like people are trying to use it not in the right way, or like, so obviously a lot of scammers. Then of course people who just read something random on the internet and then they make mistakes and probably tell the wrong information to other people. And so it's like this massive obsession where people are just watching some one video on YouTube where they are like, oh, okay, mushrooms are amazing. Let's eat amanitas
Yeah.
and things like that. So, like, my heart is happy because mushrooms deserve a lot of attention, but I also want to like people be more careful and understanding that no, you have to learn a lot about the subject.
Yeah. Especially concerning Amanita, I think it's funny that you talk about that because that's exactly what's, at least what I can tell. We always live in our own bubbles, but it seems like there's way more. There's almost a hype around it.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, it's my most watched YouTube video on my channel, like almost 80,000 people, which compared to all the other videos is quite huge, to be honest.
So that says something.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's huge interest in Amanita,
Mm-hmm.
which, like you said, I agree, it's great. And on the other hand, it's also a little concerning. I have to say, it feels like it's harder to actually find different kinds of mushrooms in the woods
Mm-hmm.
because it seems like there's a lot of people walking in the woods right now.
A
So
lot. Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's parts we have to acknowledge that. I mean, we kind of talk about it openly, so we kind of have to, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, take into consideration that people are interested. So that's kind of good.
Mm-hmm. True.
Talking about mushrooms, I saw a trailer about you, and it was a lot of AI art in it. What is that all about?
So that is a movie with me in a main role. Uh, very modest. Um, so in August, Prague Film School
Hmm.
contacted me. because they were searching for someone who would be like ideally an artist, but also like weird, like not a classical artist, let's say. And I guess, I don't know, I can't speak for them, but I guess I was a good candidate for that because I have like in my art there's so much more stuff involved and like this microscopic aspect and the weirdness and the psychedeliciousness of it, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just clicked very well with the director, and yeah, it was very spontaneous, and I felt like it's my vibe. It was a bit scary, of course, because as much as I'm popular here, I don't play yet in films. So I was, of course, a bit scared, but I'm glad that I took this as a challenge. It was very, very interesting, informative. My studio turned into like a movie set. It was fun, crazy. We've been filming like nonstop from the morning till late evening. We were filming then in the forest as well. It was beautiful, just a lot of learning about how the film is made, but also the topic that the director came up with. Of course, he was inspired by my art, but there had to be like more stuff happening.
But
So it's like
is it a documentary, or is it like, what is it? Is it
he says it's a mockumentary.
a mockumentary? Okay, tell me more about what is a
Yeah.
mockumentary.
Um, I'm not a professional director or like I'm not in the film industry to tell you, but I guess it's like a documentary with a bit of fairy taleishness or like
Yeah.
a bit of like imagination.
Hmm.
And so, of course, we kind of based it on me being here in the studio, but then it's like in between the dreamlike reality and the fairy tale as well. And so these creatures that he saw, um, he came up with the idea that they would like be alive. So
Oh,
basically,
nice.
I am this artist in love with mushrooms and doing all these things, and then I'm so obsessed with it, and I want to save the world, like to explain to the world how many things we are doing wrong and how mushrooms can help. And then these creatures basically come to me in a dream, and we have like these dialogues, and each creature is like a separate character.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they say some stuff. It's really fun. It's fun short movie. And then
Where can we see it?
yeah, I will be sending the link to my email list subscribers. So subscribe to my
All right.
email list.
I will link that as well.
And you will get this movie. Yeah, I'm really proud of mine and everyone's work. Um, I think for first ever movie, it was good. And
Quite
I've
the experience,
always,
it sounds, yeah.
yeah, I've always wanted to do something like this, but I never had like opportunity, or I
Right.
wouldn't have a budget to do that on my own. And it
Well,
was
there you go.
beautiful.
Life provided for you. Isn't that
That's
amazing?
true. And at the right time, like
Yeah.
because yeah,
It's funny, right? It's like you what before you do what you're passionate about, you're
yeah,
afraid of failing.
yeah.
But once you dive into your passion and you give it some time, all of a sudden the right things happen. I mean, it is so
Magic.
interesting. Yeah, some people call it magic, other people just call it the way it is, right?
Yeah.
And if you do your things and you really like burn in
Mm.
passion, that's what people love. Like it doesn't really matter what it is. Like it can be
Mm-hmm. It's
all kinds of
attractive.
things. Yeah, it's very attractive, and this will attract a lot of people, and that's why people become successful at times. So I I don't think it's magic. I think it's just the law of attraction, I guess. So
Yeah,
congrats! I'm really happy for you, and
thank you.
also very much looking forward to receive the link.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
excited to share it with everyone.
And is it also maybe screen shown somewhere publicly or somewhere?
It was actually, well, it was like a closed screening in
Yeah.
a cinema here, but you could like invite people.
Oh, nice.
So I invited people who I know here, and
And
it was, yeah, special.
what was the feedback?
Everyone loved it.
Good.
What can I say? It's true.
Not- Nothing you can say. Yeah.
I think it was fun. Like people were laughing
Yeah.
a lot when the movie was shown, and yeah, it was very special. I cried because for me it was like these touching moments of realizing
Amazing.
that how did they like just came here in Prague 6 years ago not knowing no one, and today is like a movie where I play the main role is shown on the big screen. What's happening? So that was emotional for me.
Amazing. I love it. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. And I mean, that's, I would say, almost like your payoff of doing the work you're doing. Having these moments that I
Yeah.
know this is not what you're doing it for. Otherwise, you wouldn't. I mean, go through what you've been through for the last 6 years. Like, what is your main driver in your work?
Just obsession with nature and like a passion for sharing it with others.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that maybe we don't pay enough attention to natural world around us. I mean, it will sound so obvious and like it was said before, but yeah, we just become disconnected, and I guess I have like a big sadness about that, and I just
Mm,
want to like scream through whatever ways I can do it with about the nature, the wonders that it does, and how little we really need to just be happy and be connected to ourselves through nature. So I guess that's the drive. And then personally, it connects me to my family as well,
hmm.
which has a lot of mushroom obsession. So um, being like far from the family, it can be tough sometimes. So you need something that brings you back to this feeling of being
Yeah.
there with them. And for me, that is mushrooms. That is mushroom picking
Yeah.
and like painting mushrooms as well. So yeah, and it's just like mushrooms. They just attract fun, like in
I
different
love it.
ways. Like yeah, like you bring them to any place, and it's like this weird thing for people that they are like, aha, that is so interesting. I've never like thought about this. I never looked at it from this perspective. Oh, I didn't know that this is a mushroom. I thought it's a marine organism, and
Yeah.
it provokes conversations. It's fun. It's weird. It's different. It's surprising. Is this is the always you are expecting surprise from them because they are so unpredictable.
One could say the same about your art, isn't it? It is.
Probably.
It is loud. It is different. It is, yeah, maybe something what people haven't seen before. So, I mean, I would also say that your art kind of represents that as well.
I'm glad. That's the best compliment.
Well, it is. I mean, you have like two huge eyes on your chest here, and on the back, it's like everything is looking at me. I think there's,
Yes,
almost
everything
like
is alive.
10 eyes looking at me right now. So yeah, and
It's not
also,
all eyes in the room.
no, no, I
You see
understand.
just a small part of them.
Yeah, yeah, there's more, right? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and also, like, The interesting part about mushrooms, in my opinion, is like it's way different than everything else we see in nature, right? It reassembles some things, like you said, the corals, for
Yeah.
example. But then again, you have forms that are unique to mushrooms, which, and then textures, which is just
Mm-hmm.
amazing. And it is, to me, almost like this breaking out of what we know and being okay with it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because
True.
they are also, I mean, they're so vital to our nature in decomposing, connecting trees with each other or
Mm-hmm.
plants. And they are different, and that's okay. It kind of like almost translates to us ourselves as well, right? We need the unique ones in
Yeah.
all the ones who are just being straight, and the unique ones make life fun. They make life
True.
different, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like embracing our weirdness and
Yeah,
embracing these things that we are confused with or like scared to show. That's true.
they
Yeah, I
actually.
think I learned a lot about that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're living it. So yeah,
Well, it's still not easy sometimes because, yeah, just as humans, being um, growing up in a families that we grow up with is just not a thing. Like,
yeah.
you have to be like others rather than
I
like
think,
doing.
it's like the evolution of growing up. If you think about the way, like at the age of 6 to, what is it, 14, we, or no, before 6, we just copy our parents, right? So we need
Mm-hmm.
to have like a reference, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the first molding we get is our parents. And but then after a while, it gets kind of boring, and we see there's more than our parents, and then the
Yeah.
mold doesn't fit anymore, and all of a sudden we want to be ourselves. And it's like being part of evolution, I guess, or your own
Mm-hmm.
evolution, is to break free from these things and really, yeah, see who you are. And it's okay. First of it, it's copy. It's almost like art, isn't it? You
Yeah.
copy something, and
True.
then you spin your own thing to it, and then
Mm-hmm.
something new happens. So but you
Mm-hmm.
need the reference point, and that is the
Yeah.
mold.
True. Yeah.
What changed from within those 2.5 years? I assume you also, as an artist, are going through changes and doing new things. You said
Mm-hmm.
creatures became new. I think the last time you also said that you came to a realization that feminism is has become a big part of your new work, at least looking forward.
Um, I did become more interested in that like feminine side of um, in nature generally and in psychedelics. I've been wanting to get this book that I've been going through a lot, like this feminine
Mm.
psychedelic mysteries of feminine. It's like full of my notes because it's very, very informative. Because I was searching for some literature that would tell me more about that woman part of nature that I feel like there is, but I cannot like explain much.
Mm.
I just also like through the psychedelic experiences, I've always encountered this feminine spirits or something, and I always had this question like, what is it? Why am I feeling it so strongly? And then, yeah, just looking at many things in nature, I feel this presence of like feminine spirit, and so I wanted to like learn more, and I'm in the process of it. And there is, yeah, there is a lot of like wilderness and uncertainty of these dark parts in nature too, like because we like to look at it that it's just good, but it
Yeah.
actually is like so complex and so versatile, and there is so much like so many aspects like this intellect inside of it, like the, yeah, the uncertainty of it, the unpredictability of it, going with the flow, all these things like fluidity of it. It's all like these feminine qualities that are very like suppressed by the society.
Mm. Nice. Okay.
And so that's why we are so afraid of nature as well, right? Because
Yeah,
like going deep into it, because it's actually you're losing the control. You have to go with your intuition, and we are not connected to it. And like all these like wild parts, wild feminine parts, like
that's amazing. Okay.
ecstatic. Yeah. So I'm going deep into that. And the part of it is that I've been doing these compositions, like even if you look at this behind me or like here,
Yeah,
it's like in this ovary form,
yeah.
but it actually came out very unconsciously. I've been doing it for years unconsciously, and I never like thought about it, but then like many people asked me, and that brought me to like exploring it more. And yeah, so I'm now a lot into this feminine exploration of nature, I guess. um yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I'm very much looking for what you come up with and what you how you evolve, because I think that's, at least to me, the most interesting part to understand, like what phases an artist goes through, right? It's like always
Mm,
constantly evolving and trying new
true.
things out. And um I think, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if you get the feedback and people are seeing something in your art you haven't seen before, it's also very beautiful in a sense. Like, oh, you see something new in your own art, which, holy shit, can be very powerful. So
Yeah, it's very interesting because actually, as I said, I was doing it unconsciously, and I'm just like right now I'm listening to the book on creative act. You probably have heard about it, or maybe not.
no, who wrote it? Do you know?
I think Rick
Oh, is
Rick
it
something.
Rick Doblin? No.
Maybe I
Um,
need to check it, and I can send it
yeah,
to you.
I'm mistaken it for the Maps founder, Rick Doblin. Yeah, you
No,
mean
no, no,
someone
no.
else? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Creative Act, but I don't want to say the name because maybe I'm mixing it with something else. But it's called the Creative Act,
Rick
and
Rubin. Sorry.
Rick Rubin, yeah, true. Uh, and it's basically there is a part that says that so when you are creating it, you're just thinking you're creating for some reason, but you're actually just creating it. And that is one life of your art. And then after you're done with it, whatever it is, doesn't have to be art, it starts to live another life, and it's not anymore in your control. And
It
people
gives
can
me
see,
goosebumps to hear what you're saying. That is amazing. Yeah, but that's
yeah,
true, right? It's you almost like giving birth to something.
yeah, right, you give it birth, and then you have to let it go.
Yeah.
You don't have to make sense of it,
Holy
because
shit.
we are wired to make like sense of things. Like we just think it's necessary that we give definitions to things, but actually by giving the definition you limit
Yeah.
the thing. And so I really like this thought. And
Holy shit.
so
That's
I'm
amazing.
yeah, I also don't want to like overthink what I'm doing. That's why I
Well,
want
good
to be
luck.
careful. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be careful
Yeah.
with like saying, okay, I'm doing feminine in nature. Maybe I'm doing something else. Maybe I'm doing completely something else.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
It's kind of interesting. The question is like, is that even possible that you say I don't want to? Because your art is a representation of your being, right? And if you right now
Mm-hmm.
look into a lot of feminine or feminism or feminine
Mm-hmm.
stuff around psychedelics, it will definitely influence you. It's not like you can cut that part out.
No, but yeah, but
You know what I
as you
mean?
said, good luck not overthinking it.
That's why. No, I mean, like, it's not. You don't get like a contract in saying this is what you need to do, and you get a limited. Um, what is it, like a frame on where you can move in? It's more of that's you and you're expressing yourself, and I don't think you
Hmm.
can cut that out. I mean, that's my impression of what happens, but who am I?
Yeah, yeah, maybe just not to limit it by like one definition, like just let it be more than this, and maybe people will see much more in it.
Yeah. And also, it almost to me comes to my mind that if you say I don't want to think about it. It's like saying, don't think about the pink elephant. And all of a sudden you're thinking about the pink elephant all the time.
Yeah.
So, just accepting that that's what you're going through right now and let it play out. Yeah, that's amazing.
True.
Oh man, it's a big topic. You can philosophize. What is it? Philosophy?
Philosophize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
philosophize a lot around it. It seems like. And I mean, regarding what you're doing, last time you also said that you're a musician as well. You have many arts projects. I know you're married. You also, I hope you have somehow a little bit of free time as well. How do you balance all that? To me, it seems like, I mean, just listening what you're doing, all the projects, I
Mm.
having a hard time like understanding how you like how you manage all that.
The answer is I don't. I don't manage.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's quite a big mess. I don't know if there are artists and yeah, creatives who live in a perfect order, and maybe it's okay.
Are you telling
Um,
me I'm an artist?
yes, that's. I believe everyone is. Um, I just do what I can in a way that I can in a situation that I can. And there are low moments when you have a lot of uncertainty and struggle, and your self confidence just disappears because in art you have to be first fan of yourself, and
Right.
sometimes you're just not. You're just
Yeah.
not, and you are not wired to be confident. You are wired to be scared and be careful of what you do. So there are moments like this, and then there are good moments when you see your achievements and you're like, okay, maybe I can do this. And it's balancing between these. And then, yes, because I have different like directions that I work with, I teach, I perform, I do my personal art projects, I do custom arts, and sometimes it seems to me I'm not balancing at all. I'm just like in a
Mm.
big mess of things, and the night can be the time to work on stuff. Or yeah, it's sometimes I think of sometimes actually very often I'm at the point that I'm like, okay, I'm just getting an assistant. I'm getting an assistant. I cannot
Mm.
do this anymore. But then I postpone it because I don't I don't yet I can't yet imagine like my assistant has to know so many things and also love mushrooms and art and have experience in, oh my gosh, I don't know if that person exists.
Well, you have to put it out. So maybe this is also an invitation. If you are one of these persons, just get in contact.
Yeah,
And
maybe that person, that ideal
yeah,
mushroom
I don't
love
know.
art loving organized person.
You never know. You never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, does it? I mean, you were saying you have your lows and your highs, but is it like, do you feel stressed at times, or how do you manage that? Because being organized or not is one part of it. For me, there's always this feeling of not being able to meet expectations, and also, yeah, I think that's the biggest one, meeting expectations. At the same time, I don't even know what the expectations are. It's like this,
True, you just imagine them.
yeah, and that
Yeah, of
to do
course
the
I have
stress.
all of these.
Okay.
I have all of these,
Yeah,
yeah.
but how do
And
you manage? That was the question.
I don't, but I learn sometimes to maybe um give myself something, like
Hmm.
I don't know, a walk in nature, or just like say, okay, I am just going to procrastinate right now, and
Yeah.
I'm just going to do this because I'm a human, and I do a lot, and I'm not a robot. So I mean, it's much worse when you are like procrastinating and then you're like punishing yourself, right? So
Yeah.
um I think I'm still in search of it, but I think that big saver for me is travel, and even like small travel matters. So like this year I didn't really have opportunity to travel much, like for fun.
Mm.
So I said to myself, I'm listening to all this, like self-help stuff sometimes to just keep myself motivated or whatever in the mood. And there was Mel Robbins podcast on like doing things like just on your everyday life, just changing little things
Yeah.
in a way that you are not used to, and how much it can actually change in your, I don't know, go somewhere you haven't been, like you go all the time to that restaurant, go to somewhere else, just little things you don't think about. And for me this year I said, okay, I've been here in Czech Republic for like 6 years. I'm complaining that I cannot travel right now for certain reasons. Why don't I go to the villages more, go explore castles and do like these day trips, or maybe take friends, go mushroom picking to new place. And so I explored a lot of like little places and villages here.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, like little escapes,
Yeah.
even for half a day, can change your general state. Yeah. So,
Right.
and also um, it's important to like keep doing something for you, which is very hard, because once your art and your like hobby becomes the way how you also make your living, and it becomes this burden sometimes, and you are like, it's not anymore about inspiration, it's like you do it or you die.
Yeah.
So I this year I bought a yearly pass for botanical garden,
Oh.
and I just every few weeks I would go there, I would watch how season changes, and I would take my sketchbook and paint just for myself. Um, so that was also a big healer for me. Just take it to the forest, take it to botanical garden, and do your little sketch. Um, and I've been sharing it with like my newsletter subscribers as a way to keep myself also a little bit like organized in that way.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I guess it's something that I did for myself, because it's also easy to like have this perfection uh, problem, especially for artists. I think for anyone, that you have to do a painting, you have to have a canvas, but actually you might have like this sketchbook with you anywhere, and just do painting a day or a few days, like little painting. It counts. It's
Mm.
better than sitting in front of the canvas and panicking that I
Yeah.
cannot do it, you know so yeah, so I have like this little, so that would take me like 40 minutes, maybe an hour.
That looks amazing. Yeah.
Like little mushrooms,
Yeah.
and that's what I would do like in the forests, and that helps to a little bit like feel that you still keep on doing things.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So I guess that's how I manage.
Well, I mean, you know, saying that you need to take care of yourself is probably the most important thing, right? It's the only thing that will never leave us until we die. So
Yeah.
it's quite important that we take that serious and really prioritize ourselves at times.
Yeah.
With all the stress we have, it's all made up, except
Mm-hmm.
upset rent. I think that's really real. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So looking forward, like what you say, what is right now the things that are most important to you, and what are you looking forward to?
Hmm.
I mean, let's not say the next 2.5 years. Let's say next year, okay?
Yeah. I like it. Well, I'm working on little series of originals that will be like about metamorphosis of plants, fungi. So they are there, but I don't want to show them because I want to keep mystery. These are little like square canvases, and it's like your pocket metamorphosis that you would take with you, or I don't know, have like a little altar or something that you would keep it at, and it would remind you about this connection of everything in nature, and it's like this joyful composition. So I'm working on a series of these that I will be pre-sailing for like maybe for people also for Christmas,
Hmm.
just to have something small and but still original, because many people cannot afford like big originals, let's say, but like a small nice paintings that would remind about symbiosis in nature and stuff like that. That would be cool. And then I'm also going to have in November, it's in the process of organizing, but it's going to happen. Um, I actually have people coming from Germany for that. This is going to be like a few day course uh, where we will be painting stuff and learning. And it's going to be somehow connected to mushrooms, maybe microscopy. So it's going to be like a bigger course, because usually I teach just a few hours, and this
Hmm.
will be like more organized and bigger course. So I'm excited for that. And then I also have planned a few exhibitions. One is, it's hopefully going to be in March, but I will be telling more about it again on my like social media and
And
email
your
list.
newsletter, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm discussing one more exhibition, which I think could be about um, it could be a continuation of this entheogen series, because I have like 7 canvases with this like cacti, the San Pedro,
Hmm.
ayahuasca, salvia, lotus, iboga. Like I have these canvases, but I've been researching like witch plants, so mandragora and other things.
Mm.
And I want to add these as well. Plus, Amanita muscaria should also be there, maybe. And also, there is this. So I probably won't remember a name, but there is an analog of ayahuasca here, not in Europe, but it's like,
Really?
yeah. And I've been listening about it. I can send you like
That will be very interesting. I'm very
the
intrigued. Yes.
info. There are like plants that been
Okay.
growing here that basically have the same chemical.
DMT.
Yeah.
Well, DMT
Um,
almost is in every living
yeah,
organism,
but
but
ayahuasca has like two, right? A mix of two,
yeah,
and sometimes much more.
chacruna.
Yeah, so there was there were some podcasts I've been listening, and also a book that I'm listening right now. It's called The Secret Code, I think, or something like that. It's like about all this historical research of usage of entheogen plants in like rituals and stuff. Like
Is it the
actually,
immortality key?
yeah, The
Yeah,
Secret Code.
yeah, it's immortality
Yeah,
key. I have it on
eh,
my. It's right there.
perfect.
Eh,
Did you read it already?
yeah, I mean, I read it when it came out. That was. It's such an amazing book. Yeah.
So I'm in the process of reading that as well. So he mentions a lot of plants, and
Yeah.
so yeah. So I would like to continue with this series. So maybe I will do like an exhibition
Should
devoted to like bigger series of like devoted to entheogens.
should do that one in Athens, where
Yeah,
Loises says that. So that would be quite interesting. Do the pilgrimage up there. That would be nice.
yeah,
We'll see.
true.
Well, thank you very much. If I have forgotten something, please let me know. Maybe there's something else you want to share.
So far, I cannot think of something that we missed,
Okay.
but if anything, maybe we put it in the links below.
Yeah.
And
Well, in that case, it was a pleasure.
it was amazing.
Yes, I agree.
Thank
I
you.
mean, we have to admit that we do talk to each other on the phone at times, but I think doing this was very, very nice again. And yeah, I learned something new every time. And I have to say, I put it up on my screen already. The Creative Act came on my desk and through conversation within the last week about 5 times within a week.
Whoa.
So this is no
Definitely a
coincidence.
sign.
Yes, and I'm following up on that. So I'm putting it in my basket. And thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And you live a way different life, and I really appreciate what you're doing. And
Some craziness.
well, I
Yeah.
would say I wouldn't say my life isn't crazy, but it's just the different concept of it.
Yeah.
And the way you express yourself is very, in my opinion, it really, yeah, it's inspiring. I'd love to be and throw myself into my passion as well as much as you do. There's still a lot that I'm scared of, but seeing how you are doing it, it's a big inspiration. That, and therefore, I really say thank you and can only encourage
Same
you.
for me.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, talk to you next time.
Thank you. Yes, excited to talk next time.
All right, bye-bye.